Shalom, welcome to Tactical Torah. I am Heath Hayes, and today we are on day 52 of Read the Bible in a Year, reading Numbers chapter 23 through 25. And we're on page 167. So if you want to follow along in the scriptures, that's where we're at, chapter 23. And Balaam said to Balak, build 7 slaughter places for me here, and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me here. And Balak did as Balaam had spoken, and Balak and Balaam offered a bull and a ram on each slaughter place. Balaam then said to Balak, stand by your ascending offering, and let me go on. It might be that Yahweh does come to meet me, and whatever he shows me, I shall declare to you. And he went to a bare height. And Elohim came to Balaam, and he said to him, I have prepared the 7 slaughter places, and I have offered on each slaughter place a bull and a ram. And Yahweh put a word in the mouth of Balaam and said, return to Balak, and this is what you say. And he returned to him and saw him standing by his ascending offering, and he and all the heads of Moab. And he took up his proverb and said, Balak, the sovereign of Moab, has brought me from Aram, from the mountains of the east. Come curse Yaakov for me, and come rage at Israel. How do I curse whom El has not cursed, and how do I rage at whom Yahweh has not raged? For from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I observe him. Look, a people dwelling alone, not reckoning itself among the nations. Who shall count the dust of Yaakov and the number of 1/4 of Israel? Let me die the death of the upright, and let my end be like his. And Balak said to Balaam, what have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and look, you have kept on blessing. And he answered and said, should I not take heed to speak what Yahweh has put in my mouth? And Balak said to him, please, come with me to another place where you are to see them. You only see the extremity, but not all of them. Curse them for me from there. And he took them to the field of Sophim, to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 slaughter places, and offered a bull and a ram on each slaughter place. And he said to Balak, stand here by your ascending offering while I meet over there. And Yahweh came to Balaam and put a word in his mouth and said, go back to Balak and say this. So when he went to him and saw him standing by his ascending offering, and the heads of Moab with him, and Balak asked him, what did Yahweh say? And he took up his proverb and said, rise up, Balak, and hear. Listen to me, son of Zippor. El is not a man to lie, nor a son of man to repent. Has he said, and would he not do it, or spoken, and would not confirm it? See, I have received to bless, and he has blessed, and I do not reverse it. He has not looked upon wickedness in Yaakov, nor has he seen trouble in Israel. Yahweh his Elohim is with him, and the shout of a sovereign is in him. That's good. El, who brought them out of Mitzrayim, is for them like the horns of a wild ox. For there is no sorcery against Yaakov, nor is there any divination against Israel. Now it is said to Yaakov and to Israel, what has El done? Look, a people rises like a lioness, and lifts itself up like a lion. It lies not down until it devours the prey and drinks the blood of the slain. And Balak said to Balaam, do not curse them at all, nor bless them at all. And Balaam answered and said to Balak, have I not spoken to you, saying all that Yahweh speaks, that I do? And Balak said to Balaam, Please come, let me take you to another place, that it might be right in the eyes of Elohim that you curse them for me from there. And Balak took Balaam to the top of Peor, that overlooks the wasteland. And Balaam said to Balak, Build 7 slaughter places for me here, and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me here. And Balak did as Balaam had said, and offered a bull and a ram on each slaughter place. Chapter 24. And when Balaam saw that it pleased Yahweh to bless Israel, he did not go as at the other times to seek to use sorcery, but he set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam lifted his eyes and saw Israel encamped according to their tribes, and the spirit of Elohim came upon him. And he took up his proverb and said, The saying of Balaam, son of Beor, and the saying of the man whose eyes are opened, the saying of him who hears the words of El, who sees the vision of the Almighty, who falls down with eyes opened wide. How good are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel. Like the wadis that stretched out like gardens by a river, like aloes planted by Yahweh, like cedars beside waters. He makes water flow from his buckets, and his seed is in many waters. His sovereign is higher than Agag, and his reign is exalted. El, who brought him out of Mitzrayim, is for them like the horns of a wild ox. He devours the nations, his enemies, and he breaks their bones, and with his arrows he smites. He bowed down, he lay down like a lion, and like a lion who would rouse him? Blessed is he who blesses you, and cursed is he who curses you. Then the displeasure of Balak burned against Balaam, and he struck his hands together. Balak then said to Balaam, I summoned you to curse my enemies, and see, you have kept on blessing these 3 times. See a pattern here? And now flee to your place. I said I would greatly esteem you, and see, Yahweh has kept you back from esteem. And Balaam said to Balak, Did I not also speak to your messengers whom you sent me, saying, If Balak should give me his house filled with silver and gold, I am unable to go beyond the word of Yahweh, to do either good or evil in my own heart. What Yahweh speaks, that I speak. And now see, I am going to my people. Come, let me advise you what this people is going to do to your people in the latter days. And he took up his proverb and said, The saying of Balaam, son of Beor, and the saying of the man whose eyes are opened, the saying of him who hears the words of El and knows the knowledge of the Most High, who sees the vision of the Almighty, who falls down with eyes wide open. I see him, but not now. I observe him, but not near. A star shall come out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and shall destroy all the sons of Shath. There it is. And Edom shall be a possession, and Seir shall be a possession. Enemies, and Israel is doing mightily. And out of Jacob one shall rule and destroy the remnant from Ar. He then looked on Amalek, and he took up his proverb and said, Amalek was first among the nations, but his latter end is to perish forever. And he then looked on the Canaanites. And he took up his proverb and said, Firm is your dwelling place, and your nest is set in the rock. But Cain is to be burned. Cain. I wonder if it is Cain. Cain. Till when does Ashur keep you captive? And he took up his proverb and said, Oh, who does live when El does this? And ships shall come from the coast of Kittim, and they shall afflict Ashur and afflict Eber. And so shall he also perish. And Balaam arose and left and returned to his place, and Balak also went his way. Chapter 25. And Israel dwelt in Shittim, and the people began to whore with the daughters of Moab, and they invited the people to the slaughterings of their mighty ones. And the people ate and bowed down to their mighty ones. Thus Israel was joined to Baal Peor. And the displeasure of Yahweh burned against Israel. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Take all the leaders of the people and hang them up before Yahweh, before the sun, so that the burning displeasure of Yahweh turns away from Israel. And Moshe said to the judges of Israel, Each one of you kill his men who were joined to Baal Peor, or Baal. And see, one of the children of Israel came and brought to his brothers a Midianite woman before the eyes of Moshe and before the eyes of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping at the door of the tent of appointment. And when Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a spear in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. Thus the plague among the children of Israel came to a stop. And those who died in the plague were 24,000. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, has turned back my wrath from the children of Israel, because he was ardent with my ardor in their midst, so that I did not consume the children of Israel in my ardor. Therefore say, See, I am giving him my covenant of peace, and it shall be to him and to his seed after him a covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was ardent for his Elohim and made atonement for the children of Israel. And the name of the man of Israel who was struck with the Midianite woman, was Zimri, son of Salu, a leader of a father's house among the Shimonites. He was of the tribe of Simon. And the name of the Midianite woman who was struck was Cosbi, the daughter of Sur. He was head of the people of a father's house in Midian. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Distress the Midianites, and you shall strike them, for they distressed you with their tricks, with which they deceived you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of the leader of Midian, their sister, who was struck in the day of the plague because of Peor. And next time we'll continue on in chapter 26. Shalom.